First Take, the one and only Adam Schefter. How we feeling, Chef?
Hello, Molly. Good morning.
Great to have you with us. J. Mack, Dan, Stephen A. Hi, guys.
Hold on for a second. I just want to say this to the American people real quickly. It is a special day when my seat is being filled by Adam Schefter.
Wow.
I just want you to know that, my brother.
Stephen A., this is the honor of a lifetime, my brother.
Whoa,
You know what I'm
I don't know what
saying?
just happened, but I have never heard him say that, Adam.
That is a
So he must have real respect for you.
sincere upgrade. I know Dan Orlovsky, that's just him being jealous. It's okay, because he would never get such a compliment from me, even though I love my brother D.O. What's up, Jay?
Goodness.
How you doing,
happening?
man?
What's up,
What's
man?
going on,
I'm
big
doing
time?
All right, gentlemen, we got a lot to dive into, so let's roll here. And one of the most stunning and compelling moves in college football history, six-time Super Bowl winning coach Bill Belichick was named the new head coach at North Carolina last night. North Carolina officials said the sides agreed to a 5-year deal pending approval by the Board of Trustees, which is scheduled to hold an emergency meeting today. Now, this will be Belichick's first college coaching job. His father, Steve, served as an assistant coach for the Tar Heels from 1953 to 55. Belichick will bring some longtime confidants with him to North Carolina. Michael Lombardi, who worked with the Patriots from 2014 to 2016, will serve as the program's general manager, and Belichick's son, Steven, is also expected to be a part of the staff. Adam, a lot of people thought this would never happen. It was just rumors, and here we are. So what more can you tell us?
Well, Bill is a contrarian, and at a time when there are many college coaches looking to get to the NFL, Bill traveled the opposite path and waved to all the coaches along the way, because he's not interested in doing what everybody else is doing. He's interested in doing what is relevant and pertinent to him. And that means going back to college, which is becoming more and more like a business. North Carolina offered him the certainty of a job coaching that the NFL didn't. The NFL had a chance to hire Bill Belichick a year ago. The Atlanta Falcons opted for Raheem Morris. The Washington Commanders opted for Dan Quinn. And Bill Belichick was left without a coaching chair, leaving him to become, who would have ever thought, a media darling. So, as he hoped to get back to coaching, the only way to ensure that that would happen would be with this particular job, which they came to him hard. This is what he wanted to do. He might have waited, and he might have gotten an NFL head coaching job, but he might not have. And then it would have been another year on TV. And that's not what he wanted to do, because at his core, he is a coach. And so today, he is Chapel Bill, going back to the school where his father was a coach from 1953 to 1955, where Bill Belichick was photographed sitting in the stands as a little boy. And now that little boy has grown into a coaching legend, and he is ready to take that program to new heights.
Dan, Adam Schefter, thank you for that. I got to ask this question. Explain what the trepidation was last year and what it may be this year when it comes to an NFL team picking Bill Belichick as its coach. What is the scuttlebutt, the word out there about him in NFL circles? Because we all know he's the greatest coach that ever lived. What's the scuttlebutt about?
I think that people get territorial about their jobs. And I think that they think if Bill Belichick comes in, he's going to take over the organization. And I don't think that that's the case at all. I think Bill would be willing to work within the confines of all jobs, to include all people, to make it work. Again, last year, it was so important to him to have it that way, to be coaching, and he was not given that opportunity. But I think people are nervous about their jobs because Bill probably would want to bring in some of his people. At least that would be the idea. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. But there would be the idea that he could bring in people, displacing other people, making them nervous, causing them to oppose hiring Bill Belichick.
Stephen A., I also think it's this. When it comes to the NFL, one, I don't think he was going to go work for any team or coach any team. There's elite organizations that were only going to be, or at least the potential to be elite, in the conversation. I think, two, is a lot of the teams that right now have job openings at the head coaching position and or ones that we speculate might, feels everyone is attached to a young quarterback. Both New York situations, the New Orleans Saints situation, and again, others that we speculate feel likely. So maybe there was a little hesitation because of how it ended in New England and the obsession with we've got to only focus on making sure we get a coach for our young quarterback. And it has to be an offensive-minded guy. And it has to be a guy that's only X's and O's, because we're seeing all these other young quarterbacks, a Jaden Daniels with a Cliff Kingsbury. And so the obsession with, like, only quarterback is the only thing that matters, I do, and that incorrectly, by the way, I think that's the wrong way to think. I think that's part of the NFL stuff as well. A year ago, Nick Saban left Alabama, and in a negative, or because of the changing in the college football world, and it felt negative for the college football world. It felt like, oh my gosh, college football's changed so much that the greatest coach of all time doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. It feels differently this morning. It feels, oh my gosh, the greatest coach of all time is choosing to go back into college football. And it's feels like the starting point of a different era in college football, or the potential for a different era in college football, where there's much more of an appeal visually. Because if Coach Belichick goes to Carolina and does what I think he's going to do, which make them top 20 immediately and into the college football playoff in the next 2 or 3 years, then the vantage point of college football looks very different than maybe it did even like 2 years ago.
Dan Orlovsky, let Jay comes in. We don't have Adam Schefter all day. You understand what I'm saying? We here for 2 hours. Jay, go ahead and speak, and then we will get back to you and your opinions in a minute. Go ahead.
I love it. That's how it should be.
This
Go ahead, Jay.
All of us
Adam
be brief, so
Schefter got to be out of here at 10:50. Let's go, man. Go ahead, Jay.
More me, less Dan. More me, less Dan.
Dio makes a great point. We look at if Bill's able to bring the system in place, he already said it. He wants to have a pro system at the college level. So if he gets to UNC and this works, we're going to see other schools try to replicate it the same way we've seen in the NFL. Bill wins 6 Super Bowls with the New England Patriots. Year after year, some of his systems were picked to come to a different organization to try to replicate and do what Bill Belichick did in the NFL. I look at all of this, and you mentioned it. He became a media darling. I remember seeing him in September at a Rutgers football game, and I said, Coach, like, you're killing it in the TV stuff. I'm trying to catch up too, and you just got there. How are you enjoying it? It's okay. And I was like, at that point, all right, well, he's going to be back coaching. And Shefty has said it all morning. He's not going to wait around for the NFL. He has an opportunity to get back in there, watch film for hours, and teach guys.
What, Adam, do you believe would have been potentially a great opportunity for Bill Belichick in the NFL once this offseason arrived, or was that something that no one can answer at this particular moment in time?
I would say any team that had an opening would have been a great opportunity for Bill Belichick. He would have been selective in where he would have gone. Or there are certain places I think he would have crossed off his list for the way that those franchises have been run. I don't think that he would have been willing to go to every franchise, but I think any franchise that was making a head coaching change here in the weeks to come, or already has made a head coaching change, would be silly and foolish not to include Bill Belichick at or near the top of its list of candidates. If he didn't want to go there and wanted to say no, that's fine. But if you're a franchise and you're making a coaching change and you have a chance to talk to the greatest coach who ever lived, the guy who's in the neighborhood of victories for George Halas and Don Shula, why would you not do that? But clearly, there was some question as to whether or not that would happen, thus leading to him following the road to Chapel Hill.
Yeah. Adam, I find it interesting. I know, obviously, he's the ultimate historian, and you just mentioned Don Shula. Some people are saying he's chasing Paul Brown. I heard you say that in Get Up as well. But I